Welcome in, everybody. Before we get into this morning's update, I want to go over a quick synopsis of what's transpiring. First, we had XRP last night break down to about the 61.33 area, which was the broadening wedge support. We're going to see now, as I'll show you in the chart, as we back test the falling channel. And if we get rejected here, this should give us enough strength to come back down in the 585. The only way to not have that happen is if we end up breaking back above the channel and holding that as a support. But we'll take a very close look at that on the chart, as we did have a little bit of a bearish downturn yesterday. At worst, it got near about 9.5–10% down. Actually, it was about 9%. We never broke the broadening wedge support, so I'll show you what needs to happen if we're going to continue our consolidation. And the most likely spot for XRP to have a parabolic spike, as I've stated before, the handle can be built on the broadening wedge, but it makes the most sense to come down to the 585 double top retest. Now, it doesn't have to, but I'm going to show you exactly what's lining up with volume, what's it look like in the short term, and going all the way out into the weekly and monthly. So make sure you hit that like button if you appreciate what I'm showing. And also consider subscribing to the channel if you've gotten anything out of my content. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you, as your support, as it means the world to me. It really does. So remember, when we get into the charts today, don't let your emotion dictate what's about to happen. Let the charts and the news dictate the perception of the reality that's going to happen with XRP in the crypto market. Remember, positivity over negativity. It's our job to use positivity over negativity as we start this weekend. And we don't play the victim here. We play the winner. And playing the winner, you have to have all the information so that you don't make a rash, irrational, and emotional decision that can further hurt your portfolio buildings or your accumulation phase, or just your general idea of what you're trying to do in the future. I'll catch you on the other side of the intro. Good morning, 9:32 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, August 5th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So yesterday, this is what we theorized in the live, if it were to come down. And this was not drawn out right here when I did it in the live. It just happened to do it exactly there and start bouncing up. We theorized if we were going to come down to the 585 support, for the weekly time frame, to put the bullish handle on the cup all the way down to the weekly time frame on the handle at 585, we figured it would have to break through, hit the support at 6133, come back through, and then eventually lose this channel, and then we would fall through the 613. There's a slim chance we can hold this as a support area, but it really seems to be lining up to the 585. We'll see, though, because the market makers can do it at any level. I just find it a lot more unlikely that it would happen at 6133. I want that parabolic spike out of 585 since we've already came out down this far. So what we're looking at here, basically here, is do we get rejected on this channel? Did we have any volume coming in the 30? And we didn't. We have no volume here to support a further move up, it doesn't look like. Look at this big dump candle. We had 6.485 million. Then we started pushing back up, and we didn't have anything. We knew that that was very bearish. Now we break down again here. We have not as much volume, but we still have decent volume. For just a 30-minute candle, 2.865 million. Now the trickle up, 1.4, 443. You see how small the volume is? That's a recipe for disaster here. We're getting much less volume. Now we're trying to show some support here on the channel. Once you break the 624 and come back down, or you break back below this, there's always the chance that you could try to bounce back here and then get rejected the second time up here, or you just fall right through. My expectation here is to come down to 585. Like I said yesterday, it behooves us not to come down there. We knew 65 cents was going to fall through. We knew that retracement yesterday was very bearish, because when you look at the 30-minute, you had a very weak volume portfolio right here. Very weak. It was breaking down. Even on this little retest came down. Right here, very weak again. This doesn't look like it's going to be able to sustain itself on a thinly traded weekend. However, if 624 does hold, or 613, and then we start pushing back up, Your first sign that we could maybe start reversing this a little bit is if we get back over the top of the channel, but 65 cents you got to get back above. But that looks like we're printing another bear flag to me. 4 hourly, we're just about to have that death cross we talked about yesterday, and that's why you could possibly have a return rally, maybe a little bit, and try to reject there, but it doesn't look overly strengthful. There's no strength here, it doesn't look like. And this looks like, to me, the majority of the time this would roll over. Sure, you could get a whale or something that switches it up a little bit on a thinly traded weekend, but this looks like we're destined to come down to that 585. If we just continue to look at the weekly, it makes me very, very, very optimistic. When you look at the volume portfolio, when we went up 94%, we had 518 million on that weekly, and we had that huge candle burst. The next week we had 312 on kind of a consolidation. Now we start breaking down. 166 million in the entire week last week. This week we only have, what do we have left now? 1 day, 11 hours. We've had 139 million. That means, like I said yesterday, we're probably only going to touch around 175 million for the entire week. That's a huge breakdown on a consolidation, folks. This is a very bullish divergence when it comes to price action opposed to volume. When you look how far we've dropped, we've come down about 33, 34% right now, but the volume has went from, at the swing high, the volume was up to 518 million for the weekly. We've come down 33% from the top, and our volume is, let's see, 1/4. We have 1/4 the volume, which means the volume is confluently breaking down. We're stepping down. That's what we want to see on a, this would be a bullish consolidation. This is exactly what we want to see. These are tailor-made moves right now. I always preface it by saying, yes, you can get a huge sell volume, several hundred million in a week that could turn this around, and it would have to be 400 or 500 million. But right now, this reeks of a bullish reversal when this is done. It looks like it needs another layer, so I'm not excited yet to the 6133. That looks like it's setting up more people thinking that it could hold the broadening wedge, but it actually needs to finish off this 12% drop we talked about yesterday. We've come down 8% roughly right now, but we needed about 12. This was a 12% drop from up here. We came down 7.5, and to finish it off, we still need to come down a little bit farther. And I was being generous. We dropped from a little bit higher. So we've done about 8 of the 12% of the drop right now. We did consolidate some now, but to me it looks overly bearish still. So let me know in the comments what you think. If you're looking at the positive out of this, it's that we're going to hold that 585, that cup and handle that's been going on. And this is a very bullish pattern formation. This pattern that's been going on since March or April of 22. You can clearly see the cup and handle pattern. Now we're trying to put a bullish handle on the cup, and 585 would make for the ultimate bullish narrative. The technical target out of that, and we're not saying it's going to happen, because now that we've come all the way down here, you have a slew of problems. But technically $1.50 would be the target, but you'd have to break the channel. You would have to get back above 75. You would have to get back above 85.20, and then you'd also have to break the swing high of 93.7 and get above the $1.13, which to me, with the swing high in 2021 of $1.98, swing low in 2022 of 286, that puts us firmly at $1.13. To force us out of a bear market rally, we would have to break and hold that and then start pushing up to start a whole new bull market. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this update, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, and if you're looking to trade your favorite crypto, FEMX is in the video description below and or pinned comments. Lowest spot maker fee. You don't need to use a VPN in the USA, and no KYC if you're doing on and off ramping from another exchange. Only need to do a KYC if you're using a bank account and or credit card. Make sure you hit that like button, consider subscribing, and remember, positivity over negativity. As we look at another bearish cycle, it looks like here, to come down to the 585, unless you can get a big candle spike here, hold this channel, and reverse back up, it looks like to me we're going to finish off another 5 to 6% drop here, finish off that 12% drop to 585, and then we're going to see where our loyalties lie. Are we bullish? Will the bulls come out? And is this a beautiful setup, especially in the weekly with the crashing volume, to have a parabolic spike here? Only time will tell. Stick around for the updates. And as I'll continue to tell you, your support means the world to me. And without you, I wouldn't even be here. Stay blessed, everybody.